What is up, YouTube? My name is Eben, and on this week of Pokemon Theme Deck Fusion, we are going to be looking back at our deck, and the changes that need to be made are pretty straightforward and they're pretty simple. We've got a lot of Pokemon, and we really don't need them, and unfortunately, Rapidash and Ponyta, as cool as Rapidash has been as a nice free retreater and kind of as the occasional I really need another turn staller with agility, it hasn't actually done a lot of work, and it's not going to be scoring many knockouts because its damage output is minimal. So it's time for it to go, which makes me a little sad because it was never really like bad, but that's part of what you have to do when you're deck building too. Is it's not just about getting rid of bad cards and putting in good cards. Sometimes it's about turning okay cards or just good cards into something more useful, into something better. So that's why Rapidash is getting the cut. Now, as a result of that, though, we have very few reasons for fire energy anymore. In fact, Heliolisk is probably going to use the majority of them from now on, as the only fire Pokemon left in the deck is actually Victini. But I'm going to break from my rule of only pulling out 5, which I was going to make 2 weeks in a row I've done that, but mainly because we're just straight up switching out energies, because we have a lot of fire energy in the deck that we no longer need. So we're pulling 4 fire energy and just converting them straight into 4 water energy. So they're still basic energy for the deck. They're just a type that makes more sense for Swampert and the remaining Pokemon in the deck. Speaking of Swampert, one thing we've learned from playtesting this week is that he's more or less our only real win condition is getting Swampert up. And so only having 2 Swamperts creates a genuine kind of problem, because if something happens to one of them, or one of our Marshtomps, then we've only got the one and we have to get it right. And if it gets knocked out, we're in deep trouble because we don't really have a lot of other ways to deal damage enough to take a game. Articuno's second attack, the one that deals damage, requires a lot of energy in order to fire it off, and we don't really have a way to accelerate energy onto Articuno. So realistically, its 4 energy attack for 100 damage is just not worth it. So what we're going to do to fix that is we're going to add a 3rd Marshtomp and a 3rd Swampert, giving us the 3-3-3 line. And this will give us a more reliable way to get our core out there. Something that a lot of beginning players don't always fully grasp is that a single copy or even 2 copies of something often are not enough, because it's just too easy to lose them. A well-timed Lysander or something like that can take one out and the other one can be prized, and sometimes, frankly, even 2 can get knocked out and you need the 3rd. So consistency is what we're aiming for here, and that's why we've increased ourselves to a 3-3-3 line there. And the remaining 2 cards we're going to switch out are going to increase our consistency more by letting us draw some cards. One thing we're going to add is our 4th copy of Professor Sycamore. This is going to help us really power through those energies to get Swampert powered up quickly, and our hand can sometimes be a little dead once we don't need Pokemon Fan Club and things like that anymore. Those extra cards can be kind of useless. So this will allow us to throw away stuff we don't need and turn it into stuff we do need. And a lot of things, hopefully, that we do need. And finally, we are going to add another copy of Shauna. This will be our 2nd copy of Shauna. She's an excellent draw card. She guarantees us a fair number of cards, and that's just the direction we're going to take it, basically, because honestly, it's the most reliable continuous card draw that we've got access to. So she's definitely in at another copy, just increasing our draw power so that hopefully every hand will always have options of things we can do. And that's kind of our goal. With all deck building is always to have options, never to be put in a position where we can't really do anything anymore. So anyway, that is our Theme Deck Fusion for the week. And until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and check out my Twitter link down below if you haven't already to follow me there. And I will see you next time.